Hola everybody. How many people of you has been on Erasmus? Is there any Erasmus here? Where did you do your Erasmus? Has anyone done Erasmus here in Barcelona or in Spain? Hey, maybe some of you remember. Can you identify this picture? No, there's too many people. Too few people here. I used to belong to ESN, which is the largest exchange student network in Europe. And I was one of the head organizers of this trip, the ESN Ibiza trip. We took over 2,000 people during a week to Ibiza. Can you imagine the mayhem? So I thought that after some years doing that, by the way, full disclosure, my fuck up is not, why did I quit this? When it was so, it was amazing. We were taking people on trips, organizing parties, like making them travel around, getting used to Barcelona, getting them drunk, and then making them go into museums. That was the life. That was the life. So when I decided to become a serious person, which obviously I have failed at that, I went on and tried to organize this. I left Barcelona, I went to San Francisco, and I got this Startup Grind. Startup Grind is one event that we organize once a month. We organize a leading entrepreneur. Actually, Christian has been a guest speaker at our event. And I thought, you know guys, I partnered with one of my best buddies at ESN and said, we did that, what can fail? Let's organize this. It's just an event, it happens every month, it's so easy, it's about 100 people every time, like nothing can fail. We've been 4 years doing that. We've been 4 years bringing Erasmus here and there, organizing trips, national, international platforms for over 300, 400 people every time. Really professional, even though we were students. What could possibly fail? Well, in fact, it's not that we failed, we programmed a failure. So I'm just going to explain how, before organizing an event that it's paid, and we were risking a lot of our reputation and Google's name and the speaker's name, we said, okay, before charging for the first event, let's program an event that's totally gonna suck. Okay? So we did a first event 1 month before our first event. And what happened? We didn't have any fucking thing. And that was good. That was good enough, because by setting a deadline, we learned that some things happen better, like happen faster. And we rushed so much that we chose a place, the venue, they were super cool, but the location was totally not great. So we thought it's good for us because it was free and they gave us all the better conditions to organize stuff. By the way, back then there was no talent garden because obviously we would have done it here, but so we chose something like this, right? I imagine that nobody here has been in our first event, but I'm going to tell some truths that are hard to swallow. So one of the lessons that we learned there is like, don't think about you as an organizer. And if you have to chip in some money, do it. Then we changed the venue and the conversion rate was like, boom, it skyrocketed. People actually paid for the event when we changed. Another thing that we didn't take into consideration was that, if there's a speaker, there's an interviewer like me, if you were sitting on the third row, you could see some other people's heads. What was the action happening? Actually, in front here, it was me and the guy being interviewed. Well, it's not quite the best setup. So one of the other fuck-ups is like, okay, we didn't test it actually. We just showed up. I said, let's do this event. We fucked up on the venue, on the location. We fucked up on the setup. Like, if you're gonna have something that's important, just make it stand up, or just place a stage or something that we can sit on, and so that people could see. Good. Actually, these are some of the reviews of the free event. Luckily enough, it was free, so people couldn't really complain. But the best things is like, okay, I couldn't see the speaker, which is, okay, it's great, I can see that. The best thing, the beer. Great. Mixed feelings, interesting, boring. There's some people saying, do it in Catalan. Oh, yes. So if you ask all the time about the language, 33% of the people in Barcelona wants the event in Catalan, 33% wants in English, 33% wants in Spanish. So there's no way you can do it. Actually, this is a good formula, half and half. That's good. Some people didn't understand the video. We got a video that we rushed it so much. I'm just going to talk about that later. The venue was so-so. There was too much show, clapping, standing up. I like rock and roll. I need to say that. And I like the way the Americans put up the events, and they are like really super happy, enthusiastic, clapping, showing all the, all the energy and all that. It worked really well, but there was people like, I'm never going to that again. Great. So some of the things that you can take away from here is like, if you get these kind of reviews, don't post them in public. Cool. Another thing we learned is we have too much information in our hands, and if you get, by the way, so we set up this event to happen 1 month before the other event, and in the last 48 hours, we received all of the things that we didn't order. We got free catering, beers, a video, a website, and something else we couldn't really prepare it because we got it in the 24 hours before the event. But we said, yeah, let's do it. We can just present everything because it will look more professional. No, fuck that. If you can't prepare it, don't do it. Actually, the video was really good, but because we didn't prepare it, we didn't check the cables, the connections with the computer. So it was like 10 minutes trying to connect the Mac to something else. The audio was not working. The website showed up kind of good, but the projector was not prepared for, projecting stuff because we didn't test it. So even though you might have all of this information like in the Star Trek panels, if you don't really prepare it, don't use it. Cool? Another thing that might happen to your events, especially if they're free, is that all of these people are going to show up. Okay? Sorry about this, it's not really considerate towards trained drivers. Okay? But the thing is, if you have an event that is free, you have an uncertainty level of about 80%. So if you have 100 people signing up, maybe you're going to have 20, or you might have almost 200. That's why our events are paid. But at least you need some preparation, because if there's catering, if there's beers, if there's chairs to seat, or if the place is not prepared to hold more than 70 people, which was the case, and like over, I think, 90 people turned up, it was really, really stressful. Then moving up stuff and all of that. So you should, if it's free and the venue has a capacity, try to keep that into consideration when you organize the event. Because otherwise, it happens that, like, we didn't test the air conditioning. And believe me, after 20 hours, that looked like a fucking oven. It was so hot that 2 hobbits just came around and threw a ring in it, okay? It was so hot. Like, prepare that. Just make sure the venue is prepared. Just not only that, the Wi-Fi didn't hold that many people, the air conditioning, the doors, the people at the check-in didn't expect that much people, we didn't prepare that. So, we're fucking up a lot of stuff in this event, right? But it was really good. That was a test. Just to make, to wrap up these presentations, I'm going to say, in Catalan, we've got an old saying that says, si tu vols estar ben servit, fes-te tu mateix al llit. Which is like, if you want to have like everything working, do it by yourself. You need to be prepared to be that man in the picture. The one-man band that's playing all the instruments, and especially if you're dealing with volunteers, making shit for free, you can't really complain about that if they don't do their stuff. People are responsible enough, but sometimes, because it's an unpaid thing, it's not gonna work out. At least if you pay for that, you can complain. Like, dude, I paid for like 300 euro for the catering. Like, you gave me bad service, I'm not buying for you again. They lose a customer. But anyway, and then this is like also the main takeaway, like things that are free. I'm not especially happy about that, but in our case, it turns out that doing stuff for free sometimes doesn't pay off. So one of the things that we learn is start paying for your stuff, because even if at the beginning we're all entrepreneurs, right? So we're bootstrapping, we don't have a lot of budget and everything, but if you don't do that long time investment, probably you're never going to have a good reputation or a quality event. So maybe you should think it otherwise. Just flip the situation upside down and start paying for stuff so that you can get free stuff later when your event is really worth it. And I think that's all. Thank you.